Greetings everyone, this is Lodrik and this is the game War in the Pacific, Admiral's Edition. And today we check the 29th December 1941 in our match against Jochen. Jochen, the allied player. For me it is the Empire of Japan. So we will see my battleship formation is running south of around the area of Perth and trying to catch up the last cargo ships, but Jochen is splitting up his forces, so it's hard to catch up what is really important, and I'm running out of fuel, so maybe there's the end in the line now. I cannot risk normally something. This is interesting because Wushu is normally a good city and easily for the more easily for the Chinese to defend. And looks like that Jochen pulled out completely, so there was no Chinese force more in the city, and because of the presence of my forces in Canton, the base switched to me without a fight. The downside is this city have normally a garrison request, so now I will lose one victory point each day if I don't bring in immediately some garrison. So I get some base for free with I think some resources, that is nice, but I losing now victory points. So I think at least maybe 5 victory points I will lose because I must first bring some units there as soon as possible. I can maybe also use transport planes, but I normally don't like this so much, so I walk. And I lose maybe 5 victory points, but it is like it is. There are some, I don't know, Dutch, British destroyers hunting for my submarines here. But it looks like they are failing to locate. It's in the night and maybe they don't have radar. There's still an American submarine operating in Rabaul port area. But luckily this attack was failure, and now I can 5 times hit. But all these hits are small, so it's maybe enough to force the submarine to return, but it's not enough to really sink it. 10 or 12 hits, this is what I normally need. So we are now unloading, taking this base. And okay, we're losing here some support stuff. Yeah, this can happen. So, not really a active naval turn. Means more or less that my battleships was not able to find any task forces more. The submarines are still here and engaging with the with Jochen his destroyers. Yeah, okay. So the destroyers scouting or hunting for my submarines, but now the destroyers are hunted by my aircraft from my carrier. So first the destroyers hunting my submarines, now my airplanes hunting the destroyers. It's maybe time to pay back for this. And not sure, this sounds always like there's an enemy scout killed by flak. But this is a sound effect. Not sure if this is always true. I sweeping Soabaya, but I find nothing. Now I send one of my elite fighter force to Soabaya for my carrier. This is a normal range drop tank attack. So far I understand it. There's always a split in the game between normal range and extended range. And extended range have normally higher fatigue for the pilots. And because simply the pilot operates the airframe at the maximum range. So if he make a mistake, he's out of fuel and then he must make a crash landing. If you use the drop tank, you use the double the supplies or double sorties for a carrier, but you get more range. So if you keep this, you can use the drop tank, you have more range, and you still can make a normal attack. So I am now, with drop tanks I have a normal range of 11 hexes. Without drop tanks I have only a range of 7 hexes for normal. So I am now, I think, exactly 11 hexes away from Soabaya. So I make a normal sweep over Soabaya. So my pilots don't have this additional fatigue. And if additional fatigue simply create higher risk of operational mistakes and then crash landing, killed by landing, and so on and so on. And it looks like that my Zeros are fighting here very well. I don't know if this is now a glitch in the game, because it makes no sense. The red line normally indicate at what time the raid was detected. Even if the allies have a radar, no radar will ever have so much range that they can get detected this distance. So I really don't know exactly what the game was tell us here. For me it looks like the Soabaya airport know exactly in the moment my Zero's taking off of my carriers that there's a raid incoming. But no way for this. So maybe it's a glitch, I don't know. Sometimes it makes sense, but this makes no sense, this long red line. I hope I can now decimate here this air force of Soabaya. Simply I need to get rid of the enemy fighters so that Jochen only have the choice if he won't make a if he won't use his bombers to attack my fleet and he cannot escort them, then they will be easy prey for my fighters. So I let him choose if he want to defend his airspace or if he want to protect his bombers, but he cannot do both. And today it looks like that Jochen try to defend his airspace of Soabaya. He maybe also must do this, because if he don't defend the airspace of Soabaya, I can use my strike forces to make a port attack, and then all his ships in the port will get damaged, destroyed, at least threatened to be damaged. So it is normal to try to defend the airspace. The problem is for him that the Zero is a better airframe and I have the better pilot, so all advantage are on my side. The only advantage Jochen have is most of his pilots, maybe even if they losing the airframe, they can still jump out and survive the war, at least this battle. And maybe in 1 or 2 months they're getting new airframes, and then we can fight again. And every pilot is now killed in Soabaya, I will lose a pilot. Tja. I keep this now running because like to see it. Of course, it's maybe a little longer because in the beginning of the battle there was the maximum, I think, possible airframes take part of this battle. Not must take part, but can take part. So if the battle is long enough, more and more of this ready airframes on the ground taking off and trying to, taking part of this air battle. So if I want to create the air victory, I normally must try to win here fast and quickly. But this is not really necessarily the main object for me. I want simply only create as many kills I can, so to reduce the possible airframes, because normally I think there are no airframes more coming to Surabaya, at least not in the next 4 weeks. So maybe in 4 weeks the Dutch get reinforcements, or the American or the British can here bring here more airframes, but at least 4 weeks I would say it's needed. So over time there are more and more buffaloes coming, and I think from all those airframes, the Hawk is not bad. In reality the Hawk was not bad, I would say. A decent fighter, but in this game it is, I think, a little underpowered. The B339D is I think no match. And the Buffalo is normally not the worst airplane if it can fight over the own airspace. So for purely defense, I think the Buffalo is okay. But for offensive sweep and bomber escort, the Buffalo is simply too weak, too slow. And this is, I think, this is now the British Buffaloes. I think they have armor. So you can see normally the B339D is also a Buffalo, but this is the export edition, I think, with only light machine guns and no armor. So the British Buffaloes, they can take much more damage. They often can escape the battle and fight another day. I need a hit with my 20mm cannons to kill them, or lucky maybe with my light machine guns. And I also losing here some of my zeros for damage. So, and because these are 11 hexes to fly back, there's still the possibility that I lose some of my airframes on the return flight. And there are more buffaloes coming. And more and more and more. Half of my Zeros are already broken, destroyed, or out of ammunition, mechanical issues. So I don't expect more to win this air war. But this is okay for me. So the next Zero must return. I'm also, at the beginning I was diving on the Dutch Air Force. But this diving of course lower my altitude. And these new buffaloes, they coming from a high altitude, so they are diving now on me. So it's this is dogfight. And diving always have a speed bonus, and speed is at the end one of the best advantage to have this coming from behind. Once the airplane is able to attack from behind, the possibility of a kill is much higher. Yeah. I hope I can get one or at least this Dutch buffaloes with me. They are maybe the weakest here, but it will also boost let's say, my pilots get more experience. For every kill a pilot get normally, I think, 1 experience point. And once a pilot is experience of level 80, then he is an elite pilot. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure if this really changed so much. If there are some hardcore benefit for this. I only know that more experience normally lets the pilot handle the airplane better in non-combat situations. So for landing, take off, and maybe also a damaged airplane return to base, something like this. This is why experience is important for a pilot. It has nothing to do with so far I know, with the real combat. For the real combat, only the combat skill like defense and air is in this now important. Defense to avoid to be gets hit, and air to create a hit. So, battle is over, and officially I lost 2 zeros, and I killed nearly a dozen of enemy airplanes, so would be nice, but even 2 airframes lost. If this are really good pilots, so it's okay, but I have a little bad taste. And in Palmbang still no one. Again, I use my bombers with heavy escort now. That there's simply no way that Jochen must simply accept that my bombardment will now take his toll. Some good numbers will create some stress for the Chinese. Okay. Jochen tried to intercept my bombers, and I have some Oscars with me. Maybe I can defend against this attack. Five is maybe not enough for my 12. So, no success for the Warhawks today. My lamp is not more working. Oh, now I know. Okay, so one Warhawk is here officially destroyed. We will see. Maybe there's a second damage returned. Oh, still one Warhawk. One moment, I think I lost the power is lost, so I must check something. One moment. So, again here is some bombardment kills. My Tojos not the most successful the Tojo so far. But they keep the skies clean over my units. This is something at least. This is a good hit. And again. Oh, this is a counter-strike. So Jochen uses Russian bombers here to attack my forces. I maybe must adjust some of my air forces to stop this. Because these kind of bombers are not bad. I think they're similar to my Key 21 or Key 48 medium bombers. They have some bomb load. 6 bombs, each 100 kilo. So 100 kilo is maybe not so strong, but at the end they have a total capacity of 600. So not bad. And I was more or less expecting here some navy attack, so I keep some long-range cap fighters over my invasion fleet, and they can now kill these navy attacks. And we kill at least one, if we are lucky, even two, both of them. And I'm just barely in range of my heavy bombers. I use here, I think, I don't know, maybe they have torpedoes, but this is maybe a attack of 8 or 9, so I cannot transport a torpedo so far away. But with enough skills, you're also able to bring this is already a burning destroyer, so maybe slow down and easy kill for me. And the scout is maybe... okay. Scout also get a hit. So both destroyers are trying to sink my submarines are now pay the price for this aggressive action. The defender of the Eastern world, Japan, stay strong to not tolerate this kind of Western aggression here. So I bring new order to this part of the world, and the first thing I have to do is clean the seas and skies of all invaders here. So the scout is not really dead now, but heavy fires and heavy damage is a question of time. 250 kilogram bomb hits, I think, is too much for a destroyer. Especially where the destroyer won't go. Can only go maybe back to Surabaya. The submarines are waiting all the open sea with my carrier fleet. So choose the way you won't die, but you will die. Try attack Yan'an because I see that the forces are trying to escape. Normally what is moving is more easily to kill, but we are here in long range attack still, and this is of course only two 100 kilogram bombs are simply too less. One more strike. This time some great cargo ships. Okay. So it looks like some 1 or 3 cargo ships. maybe 4, 5, 6. 6 light cargo ships. Sunk, heavy damage, sunk, heavy fires. So 4 out of 6 and the rest is burning. And at least one ship just sunk. Ooh, there's a big... okay. And at the end of the turn I also can damage or even sink, now with 2 hits. One of these multi-use ships of the American Navy. And I can escape even the detection. So the enemy escorts are useless. 2 hits, heavy damage. The ship is at least a wreck, if not even go down now. Nah, looks like sinking immediately. So the HE is also dead. And these are high value ships. I think 15 points. So 2 destroyers, 6 small cargo ships, 1 big multi-task ship. Again, maybe 30 to 40 victory points for the Navy kill. And the air war was maybe also so. Now I try to take here Menado. Normally I have not so much attack value. In combination of like 3 Navy guard units. But the garrison is have no retreat option. So if I can win, then they will give up. Yeah. So I'd almost hunt them down. I already forced them to surrender. And these are nearly 3,000 Dutch prisoner now. I mean, not sure if the Japanese really take them prisoners. I think they have no honor. A warrior don't surrender. So if some warrior or a soldier try to surrender, then he's not a soldier. And if he's not a soldier, he have no honor. And something would have no honor, why you won't live? For what? Without honor, you don't have a life. And here again, we can beat up some Burma rifle battalion. So I'm not sure where they really come from. They just pop up and block my railways. So I send one of my Thai divisions, one of the better one. There's 2 quality levels. One is purely only for garrison duty, and there's the other with a little better equipment and training. They can use for support duties like this. Okay. Unluckily, they're running away. They are now on the highway. So I don't know if I can catch them. And this is the end of the day. Good. So we are very close to the end of the year. Now it's 30th December. First, let's check the intelligence report. So the overview is 20 to 3, but 5 to 6 operational losses. Okay. If we check this, we can see that I killed 11 Dutch buffaloes, but I lost 6 zeros, 3 in the air war and 3 ops losses. I also killed 6 Dutch, these are British buffaloes. So in total 17 buffaloes, plus 3 hawks, 2 P-40s, 2 of these Dutch Navy bombers. But I also lost some small stuff in China, everything one. But also 2 Catalinas. This is good for me. Catalins are really the worst thing here. So at the end, 25-9, so kill ratio is 3-1 roughly. And out of these 9 airframes, this is important. The airframe is one thing, but these are the 3 pilots. These are the 3 killed 0 pilots over Surabaya. So 1 is really killed, 2 jump out, but they're now prisoner of the Dutch. So these 3 elite pilots are lost for me. At least this killed one. The mission, I don't know if they will stick to the base, and once I take the base, if I maybe have the chance to take them back. I'm not sure how the game works with this. Maybe I must remember the name of missing pilots, and if I take Surabaya, maybe there are 2 less. I will see. So I lost 6 airframes, but only 3 pilots. Still 3 pilots for 19 killed airframes. I'm not sure if it's not perfect. It's just barely acceptable for me, I would say. I have here now all my pilots. So here some are killed with 1 kill, missing in action 1 kill. I think this is just a pilot of this. I killed. But from the elite pilots are still only this one. This was really the only pilot I ever lost in the Hiryu. I'm not sure how he was elite already with experience of 80. And he had no fatigue. He had 14 missions and 4 kills, and then somehow he gets killed? Don't know. Sometimes this is really unlucky. This game is so unlucky. So ship sunk. Last turn by points. So the AG, the Vega, is 18 points. So it's a really good Navy ship with a lot of tonnage. I mean, not really big ship, only 5,000 tons, and not fast, but somehow the capacity is heavy. I not really know how this is possible, how a 4,500 ton ship can carry nearly the same amount of weight for cargo. It's for me a little strange, but okay, it's a game. I get the point, it's important. So the Dolphin is at least crippled, maybe not killed, I would say only crippled, but at least the ship must return to any big port, maybe even up to Sydney to get a repair. Then we have now 2 British destroyers, not the best destroyers, only 1,100 tons, so 5 points, but they don't have radar and they don't have good anti-submarine warfare, but they can get an upgrade. So only so if it's good, I can kill them now, because I think they're getting in February or March upgrade, and then I think they have radar and get immediately more anti-submarine stuff. And these are these Philippines ships. I think there are 2 more burning already, but they're all small and not so important. So was okay. So today was air war. Airstrike was successful. My Navy surface engagement make a rest, but not so bad. So maybe here first I kicked out this Burma unit, and I think I will try to run it down with some Air Force support maybe. I normally don't want to go this long way, because this is a super long way and it's easy to get blocked. If I'm really lucky, I can maybe take this pass and jump out of this hex, and then I threaten the railway, but I must take this base and I must take this base to really cut the railway. I think the Burma road is then still open, because I must take this base to really stop the Burma road. If I stay only here, the flow of can still here pass by. Yeah, and it's really long. The highway is okay up to here, but this gets slow. So I'm not really a fan of this. My cruisers are now here. I want normally first make a bombardment strike on this airfield, but it's too risky In the best case, I can kill 2-3 airplanes, but this is the best case, I would say. So I maybe will go back to Georgetown and refill there. Georgetown is here because I just finished the cleaning of the mine, so the port is now ready to use. If it's open, there's still some damage, but I have here some engineers. You can see 53 engineers. I think next turn is this damage completely over, and then the port is, and this is a big port of 4, and the true port. So I would say, why not? I can use this space normally to feed all my at least destroyers, light cruisers, even heavy cruisers maybe, and submarines are most important. The second cruiser formation is running here around the same like before. Maybe not really to kill so much, but if I stay here and let him see me, but I'm out of range of his strike forces, but in range of his scout forces, then he can normally not ship anything here inside. It's like a blockade. It's like a fleet in being. I am here in strike range. If he have not at least double the strike power, it's normally too risky for him to bring something in. And normally there is nothing left. Prince of Wales and Repulse are on the bottom of the sea. The Hermes is maybe now already in the game. I'm not sure. Can be. The Hermes is normally not strong enough to really create enough damage. It's only a support carrier, but not a fleet carrier. So, looks good. The blockade of Rangoon is on the way. Yeah, my troops are here arriving now in Johor Bahru from Kuala Lumpur. The tanks will also go there, and if I have everything together, then I will strike Singapore in the first week of the next year. Here's nothing. Submarines had no success here. I also see here some submarines here on the way. Maybe Jochen had here some submarines, I don't know. I had never encountered them, but I can see them. So I was 10 range, so this is still normal attack. This is a range of 7 and a range of 8. So this is why my dive bombers not attack. There are still many more cargo ships, so I try to hunt them down and maybe create one more kill. And my fighters are now the Kaga wing I sent to Surabaya to sweep. And you can see that I have here 3 airframes lost in battle, air to air, and 3 are written off. So they come back. The mechanical guys, they check it and say cannot repair more, and throw it overboard. But I think so far I know out of I don't know more. I think every 5th airplane is written off. You get 1 airframe back somehow. So you get the 5th airplane is normally also written off. Will not be written off. Will be automatically repaired. Something like this. But because I lost now here 6 airframes, I'm from 18 down to 12, and 2 are damaged, and they need 2-3 days to repair. And I have 1 killed pilot and 2 missing in action. But this air wing create 18 kills. So the ratio is 18 to 3. And that is a kill ratio of 5 to 1. Not even this. 6 to 1. Yeah, 6 to 1. So it's, I would say, good. If I can keep this up all the time, I'm happy. That's it. So, and my other strike forces, so the dive bombers, they have only a range of 6 because I don't let them strike long range. I don't like really long range attacks. And 6 or 7, the difference between is only 1 hex, and I don't do this, especially because normal range is 250 kilogram bomb, and this is just barely enough to really create damage. And if I go to long range attack, it's only 60 kilogram bombs. This is simply useless. Only for cargo ships maybe have some impact. So all or nothing. And my torpedo bombers are used in long range because it's 2 more hexes, and a torpedo bomber still can carry 250 kilogram bombs. So that is at least something. So I like them for. They also make scout for me. So it's simply, I use only torpedo bombers for scouting and for long range attack. But every player can do this. The problem is only that this increases the fatigue if they make a strike. So must keep an eye on it. But normally an aircraft carrier not have every turn a strike, so normally you can accept it. If they make one strike every 3 days, then the fatigue will normally come down. Good. So carriers will go down and try to hunt down this, or kill these 2 fleets, and then maybe I return because the fuel capacity is a little limited for me still. I tried to hunt down these ships, but they're running west, and now I'm out of fuel. I cannot handle this more, so I will go now back and call it a day. At least I interrupt here all the shipping and force Jochen to burn a lot of fuel here and waste a lot of time. I also consume a lot of fuel, of course, but I don't let him build up easily in Perth. Good. Anything else? Anything else? I don't think so. The first carrier fleet is still under maintenance. Here's nothing. So I lost track of the submarines. Maybe both are returning. In Truk are now all carriers together again. So 4 fleet carriers are here. And I think the Hiryu is now only 2 days. I can stand down, then it's next day it's finished. So Suikaku is ready here. And the Hiryu, Soryu, and Shukaku is still under repair, but all in 1 day finish. So in 1 day I can get all 3 fleet carrier, my support heavy cruiser, and also the destroyer is finished. So 1 day, and I can maybe create the first carrier division again and send it back to Rabaul, and from Rabaul I will scout the situation. So that it's the first week of January I will have my first carrier fleet back in action. This is roughly not the 1st January, but maybe 2nd or 3rd January I'm back at Rabaul, I hope. So nothing else here. China is, I think, no big moving here. Slowly. I arrived in Nanyang. I'm on my way to Loyang, but nothing else here. Nothing else. So thank you all. If you have any question, ask me. And I think that's the 1st of January or the 2nd of January. Maybe I will make this long episode about the situation, R&D, industry, strategic situation, supply situation. And I will check maybe more of my bases and explain stuff. So, thank you, see you, bye bye.